Okay, so now that I have told you about the products, let's start applying them. So we're going to start with base face, which, like I said, is just kind of the basic face stuff. I have already cleaned and moisturized my face, so we're good there. And I'm just going to jump right in. So we're going to take the primer. And it just takes a couple seconds to sit right on there. Let me grab my color of foundation. Now, I am putting on Olive 1 for this video. Just so you know, I am not Olive 1. I am actually Olive 2, but I don't have it because it's been out of stock. I still want to be able to show you the coverage of this, so it is going to look a little light. Just keep that in mind while you're watching the video so you don't think I'm some crazy lady, okay? It is going to look a little light. So, like I said in my previous video, I prefer using my Blenderful to apply. So I'm just going to start doing that. I'm just going to take it and push down. And now it might look like I'm getting a lot of foundation, but I'm really not. And as I put this on, I'm just kind of stippling it on right now, and then I can go back and blend it a little bit better afterwards. I'm also going to avoid the area under my eye. The reason for that is because I have pretty defined under eye bags, and putting too much product on them is going to make them stand out more instead of concealing them. So I don't want to put foundation and concealer on them. Excuse me, I just want to put on one. So because the concealer is has more coverage, I'm going to be putting that under my eyes instead. I know it looks crazy because it is definitely the wrong color. But once I put my bronzer and everything on, it usually looks fine. But the coverage is amazing, and you can see that. You can see all of the blemishes that I had, you know, when you saw me barefaced in the other video, are being covered up. And pretty quickly, it's not like I'm caking on a ton of product. So now that I have it on, I'm just going to kind of go back and blend it a little bit. My Blenderful is damp. That is how it's going to work the best. So I have just a little dish of water here that I keep it sitting in while I do my makeup, and then I just wring it out before putting it on. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit on the inside of my eyes. Okay, so there's that. You can see the coverage with that. Now we're going to move on to concealer. Now I use two different shades of concealers. Guys, I'm sorry, I look so pale. It's like horrible. I promise I'm going to make new videos as soon as I have the right color. This is insane. But anyways, I use two different concealers. The reason for that is because you want to use a skin tone one that's going to be good for blemishes, and then you want to use a different one that's going to work better for like highlighting areas. So there's lots of tricks for highlighting under your eyes and covering up dark circles. I'm going to show you what I do because mine are very prominent. A lot of people do the highlighter trick for, it's like a triangle that covers this whole area, and it does great if you just have dark circles. However, if you have defined bags that actually are three-dimensional and are like puffy, that's not going to work. That's actually going to draw more attention to them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my lighter concealer color, and I'm actually just going to trace the bottom of my under eye. Just trace under that bag. And that's going to highlight that shadow and take attention away from it. And while I'm at it, I'm actually going to take the lighter color and put it all over my eyelid because that's going to create a great base for my eyeshadow. And again, you could use the Blunderful or your fingers or something else if you want. I just prefer a brush for this step so that I can be more precise where I'm putting it, especially since I do this kind of different thing with my under eyes. Okay, so now I'm going to take the darker shade and I'm actually just going to put this directly on the bag. And I'm going to go in an upward motion because that is going to give me the best coverage and get in all of my fine lines and wrinkles so that it doesn't crease as much. My under eyes kind of always crease no matter what, just because of how my face is, but I do the best I can. Okay, so the last thing that I want to do before I move on is I want to take my pressed powder and just a little bit on a brush and sweep it right on top of that concealer. And that's going to help set that concealer so that it doesn't settle into my fine lines and crease and wrinkle as much. Okay, so that is my base face. And I will be back soon to talk about highlighting and contouring.